A quick vocabulary review. As we're going through this, it's going to be very important that you understand what the vocabulary means. When I say a word, you got to know what I'm talking about. So let's do a quick review of that. An algebraic expression, first off, is an expression. We remember what an expression is. An expression just has an algebraic expression is going to have variables and operations, and it's signs, okay? And it does not have an equal sign. Remember, an equation has an equal sign, an expression does not. So an example of an algebraic expression might be like 3x plus 2y. You could add plus 4z to the second power or something like that, okay? That would be an algebraic expression. There's not an equal sign. It has numbers, variables, and operation signs, okay? Meaning plus, minus, multiply, divide, those kind of things. All right, a variable, I think you know what a variable is. It's like x, y, and z. It's a letter or a symbol. We normally use letters that stand for a number. Okay, that's what a variable is. Remember a term. Again, this is an important vocabulary word to go ahead now and get in your head. A term is everything in an expression or an equation that is separated by a plus or a minus sign. Everything's separated by a plus or a minus sign. My terms in this expression that I've written up here, my terms would be 3x, 2y, and just for an example, I'm going to change this just so you can see this. I'm going to make that minus 4z. So that my term would be a negative, because that minus sign makes that a negative, 4z to the second power. So my terms in this one are 3x, 2y, and negative 4z to the second. Okay? Now, remember factor. A factor of something are the numbers that can be multiplied to get that number. So if I had, like, for example, 12, the factors of 12 would be what? 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Those are the factors of 12. A lot of times we get factors and multiples confused. Multiples would be like of 12 would be like 12, 24, 36, 48, and so on. But factors are the numbers that will multiply together to give you the given number. Okay? Power, exponent, and base are dealing with exponents. So if I had like 4 to the third power, okay, that's my power. What does that really mean? What does 4 to the third power mean? It means what? 4 times 4 times 4. You're going to take your base number, okay, base is one of the vocabulary words we're talking about. Base number is 4, and you're going to take it as many times as the exponent, 3 times. 4 times 4 times 4. Okay? Again, I think most of these are vocabulary words you already know, but I just wanted us to go over those one more time so that you're clear when I say like terms or terms, you know what I'm talking about. You're not going, what does she mean by a term? Okay? So remember these vocabulary words. They should be in your vocabulary list, and then you can refer back to them if you need to. All right, now we're going to talk about just writing in word form for an algebraic expression. Now look at this first one, 8x squared, or 8x to the second power. If I wanted to write that in word form, well, why can't I just write in words exactly what I just said? You could, or you could put just in word form. What does that really mean? 8 times, because what does that mean when that 8's written right next to that variable? It means to multiply. 8 times x squared. Okay, would it be wrong to do 8 multiplied by x to the second power? No, that's the same thing. Okay? You just have to take it and put it into word form. You're writing it into word form. Would it be wrong if I said 8 times a number to the second power? No, because then I might put in a different variable, but it's really meaning the same thing, right? So any of those would be okay. All right, what about this one? You know, these subtraction ones you got to be a little bit more careful with because order really makes a difference, right? When that multiplication one, I could have said, you know, x to the second power times 8 because why? Multiplication is commutative. I can switch the order around on those. But can I do that with subtraction? No, you can't do that with subtraction. So this one I would have to say something like maybe the difference, because what's a subtraction problem called? The answer called? The difference. I can say the difference between, and then you got to make sure you put them in the order that they're listed. Y to the 5th power and 16, let's see if we can squeeze 16 in there, 16 times y. Okay, could I have said, I'm going to flip over to another page here. My problem was y to the 5th minus 16y. Could I have said 16 times y less than y to the 5th power? And I guess maybe instead of since I'm writing in word form, I shouldn't put the number 16. I ought to write the word 16. Excuse me, squeeze it in there. So 16y less than y to the 5th power. Yes, remember that less than is that one that we've talked about. You've got to be careful when you see that. Remember, that's when you're really flipping the order around, okay? That the number that comes first is really going to be second in the expression. Does that make sense? Just be careful with that less than. I could say y to the 5th power. Yep, there I go, writing the numbers again. Y to the 5th power minus 16 times y, or multiplied by y. All right, so do you see how there's multiple ways that you can word these and still get it correct? All right, so again on this y to the 5th minus 16y, I can say 16y less than y to the 5th power, or I can say y to the 5th power minus 16 times y. The one I did before that was the difference between y to the 5th power and 16 times y. Again, I could say 16 multiplied by y, but that's just taking those algebraic expressions and putting them into words, okay? Now we can go the other way around. What if I gave you the words and I want you to put them in an algebraic expression? Again, you can go pretty much word for word except for what? The less than. Watch for that less than. That's the one that'll trip you up if you're not careful. So look at this one. Oh, and look, first one I have is a less than. I didn't plan that, but good planning on my part. But good happenstance on my part. 5 less than a number C. Okay, so 5 less than a number C. Again, I got that less than. So as soon as you see that, no, okay, wait a minute, this is going to be something a little different. That's going to be what? C, because I know that less than is going to switch the order around, minus 5. 5 less than a number C. Okay, look at the second one. 9 plus, so I'm going to go word for word. 9 plus the product, what's product? Means the answer to a multiplication problem of 2 and D. So I could put 2, you could put 2 times D like that. But how do we write that? We really just write that as 9 plus 2D. Okay? So very easy, just taking it word for word. 2/5 of the area A. All right, so what is that? So 2/5 of the area. In math, we talked about this just the other day. What does of mean? It means to multiply. So 2/5 of the area A. Again, you could put 2/5 times A, but again, how would we normally write that? 2/5 A. Okay, look at this last example here. Mr. Smith bought 2 adult tickets and 3 student tickets for the movie. Write an algebraic expression that shows the total cost of the tickets. Again, am I writing an equation here? Am I going to have an equal sign? No, I'm just writing an expression. Okay, no equal sign. So 2 adult tickets, if we let A equal the adult tickets, and we'll let S equal the student ticket, student tickets. All right, so we got 2 adult tickets, so what's that going to be? 2 times A, right, plus 3 student tickets, 3 times S. And that would be my algebraic expression. Can I solve that? No, because I don't know the price of the tickets. But did I answer the question that was asked here? Yes, it just asked me to write the expression. So that's all I had to do was write the expression. Okay? Pretty easy lesson, I think, for you. Remember, just go word for word. Unless you see one of those less thans, then be careful with those. And remember, the order's going to be kind of changed up on that. All right, have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, Jesus loves you.